Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Data Playbook. It's week 16, and we have our Sunday games to go through after a couple Saturday games and Thursday night. And there's no major updates to the tool, but I do expect to get to more over the next couple weeks. So if you want to see what updates come out, go ahead and give a subscribe so you can follow along. But other than that, let's get into our game data. For our next game, you have the Bills and the Browns, where the Bills are favored on the money line with a spread of 10 points, with a spread of 10.5, and a total line of 40.5. Moving over to your team averages and looking at the rankings, you have Buffalo with a pretty good offense with a scoring rank of 4, a passing rank of 11, the best team at rushing with a rushing rank of 1, and a tight end rank of 2. Defensively, it's a lot more mixed with an allowed scoring rank of 17, allowed passing rank of 1, allowed rushing rank of 30, and an allowed tight end rank of 2. For Cleveland, it's a pretty bad offense with a scoring rank of 29, passing rank of 29, rushing rank of 29, however, notably a tight end rank of 4. And then defensively, it's a lot more mixed with an allowed scoring rank of 20, allowed passing rank of 3, allowed rushing rank of 14, and an allowed tight end rank of 15. Looking at your quarterbacks, you have Josh Allen and Shedeur Sanders, with Allen averaging 23.9 fantasy points per game, and Sanders at about 11.8. There's your player averages. And going through the turnovers, you have Josh Allen with 10 interceptions and 2 rushing fumbles this season, and then you have Sanders with 6 interceptions this season. Looking at the rushing share, you have Josh Allen at 22.7% of the rushing carry share and 24.4% of the rushing yard share. And then with Sanders, he doesn't quite rush enough to get on here. That means that he gets less than 1% of the team's rushing carry share and rushing yard share. And so right now, that looks like he does not impact the game very much. For your running backs, you have James Cook and Quinshon Judkins. Cook averaging about 19 fantasy points per game, and Judkins at about 12.3. Looking at their seasonal averages, and with their turnovers, you have Cook with 3 rushing fumbles this season, and Judkins with no turnovers. Looking at their share, you have Cook at 62.8% of the rushing carry share, and 64.6% of the rushing yard share, with the next largest portion being Josh Allen, and then Judkins with 73% of the rushing carry share, and 74.5% of the rushing yard share, and the next largest portion on Cleveland comes from Sampson. For your receivers, you have Khalil Shakir and Jerry Jeudy. Shakir averaging 10.7 fantasy points per game, and Jeudy averaging 7.3. Here is their seasonal averages. And looking at the turnovers, you have Shakir with 1 receiving fumble, as Jerry Jeudy does as well. Looking at their share, you have Shakir at 21% of the target share, and 19.7% of the receiving yard share. And you have Jerry Jeudy at 20.4% of the target share, and 19.6% of the receiving yard share. It's also interesting to note that makes Shakir the most targeted and has the most receiving yards of anybody else, but that can't be said to be the same for Jerry Jeudy, making him the second most targeted and has the second most receiving yards for Cleveland. For your next set of receivers, you have Josh Palmer and Cedric Tillman, Palmer averaging 5.3 fantasy points per game, and Tillman averaging 5.5. Moving over for their averages, and with no turnovers, we'll go straight to the charts, so go ahead and pause the video if you need to look at these in more detail. But otherwise, you get Josh Palmer with 7.8% of the target share and 8.7% of the receiving yard share, and Tillman at 8% of the target share and 7.5% of the receiving yard share. Lastly, you have your tight ends with Dalton Kincaid and Harold Fanning, with Kincaid averaging 11.8 fantasy points per game, and Fanning a little behind him at 11.1. Here are their seasonal averages, and Kincaid has no turnovers this season, but Fanning has 1 rushing fumble. And then looking at their share, you have Kincaid with 11.4% of the target share and 15.9% of the receiving yard share. And then with Fanning, you have 22.6% of the target share and 25.2% of the receiving yard share, making him the most productive receiver on Cleveland. So there's all your data for this game. Looking just at a bunch of our head-to-head matchups, you have this great rushing rank from Buffalo against an average allowed rushing rank on Cleveland. You do have Cleveland beating out Buffalo here at this passing rank of 11 against this allowed passing rank of 3. And other than that, you have a rushing rank of 29 from Cleveland and an allowed rushing rank of 30 from Buffalo, making that pretty even. But everywhere else, Buffalo matches up better than Cleveland, giving Buffalo, I think, the much stronger advantage in this game and with more to play for with playoffs over Cleveland. So there you are with that data. I hope you found it informational and useful. And if you did, leave a like and subscribe. And leave a comment on what else you'd want to see in the future. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next game.